The overhand series of knots has a few knots in it. We'll start off with a really simple one. I typically tie overhands in webbing material, so that's where we'll start. With a piece of webbing, 1-inch tubular webbing here, I'm going to grab toward the end. I make a loop, take the end, feed it through. That's my basic overhand skeleton. And this in and of itself, not especially useful, but this form will allow us to tie several other overhands, which will be really useful. So that's our overhand skeleton. Next in the series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take any point in this webbing, create a 180-degree bend, which we and make a bite out of that. So with this 180-degree bend, I'll have these 2 strands here, and then I'll treat these 2 strands just as if they're one and do the exact same thing. So again, I'll make that loop, and I'll take the end, and I'll stick it through the middle of that loop. And as I stick it through the middle of that loop, then I get an overhand on a bite. Nice and clean and neat. And this is a great way to form something that you can clip into on a piece of webbing. And then last in the series that we care about here is going to be the overhand bend. Bends connect ends, so I'll tie one of these, I'll tie an overhand skeleton near the end of this piece of material, and I can either connect another piece of material, or I can just take the other end of this piece and tie this into a big loop. So I found the other end. Because bends connect ends, I'm going to feed this through this knot starting on this side, not this side, this side. Bends connect ends, and I will feed this on the outside as opposed to underneath here. Much simpler if I feed it on the outside. Pull enough slack through that it'll feed, wrap it around, and then tuck it in there. And I should end up with an overhand knot with my 2 ends coming out opposite sides. This is an overhand bend, oftentimes called a ring bend or a water knot. When I'm tying overhands in webbing material, I usually want to get these nicely dressed so there aren't a bunch of twists in there. And then the amount of tail I need, is just about a hand length. There's a little bit sticking out there, that's plenty. Much more than that might be fine, might not, depending on my application, but at least that amount. And that's my overhand series.